Hello everyone, welcome to the session. In this video, we are going to discuss a new IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. We will learn a new IDE which is the Jupyter Notebook. It is like any other IDE, Spider, Visual Studio Code or Eclipse. The Jupyter Notebook is an open source web application that allows you to create and share documents that contain lab code, equations, visualizations, and narrative text. Its uses include data cleaning and transformation, numerical simulation, statistical modeling, data visualization, machine learning, and much more. Jupyter has support for over 40 different programming languages, and Python is one of them. Rather, Python is a requirement for installing the Jupyter Notebook itself. Now we will see how to start a Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook comes along with Anaconda. Since you all have already installed Anaconda, we will go to the search option and open Anaconda Navigator. Windows S will open the search bar and I am typing Anaconda here. So it is giving me the suggestion Anaconda Navigator. Now I am clicking on it and it will take some time to open Anaconda Navigator. Once it is opened, you can see the Jupyter Notebook inside Anaconda Navigator. And click on the launch button and it will open Jupyter Notebook in a browser. When a notebook opens, you will see the notebook dashboard, which will show a list of the notebook's files and subdirectories in the directory where the notebook server has started. So this has started in my root directory, so now I am going to the desktop directory. So here the notebook list is empty. I do not have any notebook files or subdirectories inside this. Most of the time, we will start the notebook server in the highest level directory containing notebooks. Often, this will be your home directory. Now, we will see how to open a new notebook. So, on the dashboard, towards the top right, you can see a button called New. Now, if you click on it, a drop-down menu will come. If we select the Python 3, it will open a new notebook. Now we have successfully opened a Jupyter Notebook and have created a notebook file. Now let us see how to write a code in it. Jupyter Notebook provides a cell for writing code in it. So this is called a cell. Now I will write my first code. Hello world. I have written the code in the cell. The type of code depends on the type of notebook that we have created. So here we have created a Python 3 notebook, so we are typing a Python 3 code. Now in order to run the cell, you have to click on the run button, or the other method is to press shift and enter button in the keyboard. So now I have clicked shift and enter button, so the code is executed. And the output of the above code will be displayed here, that is just below the cell. Now cells can be considered as the body of the Jupyter. Cells can be of three types: code, markup, and row NB converter. So a code cell is a place where code is typed. So this is a code cell. And when executed, the code will display the output below the cell. The type of code depends on the type of the notebook we have created. So as I rightly mentioned before, here we have created a Python 3 notebook. So the code will also be a Python 3. Next type of cell is Markdown. Markdown is a popular markup language that is a superset of the HTML. Jupyter Notebook also supports Markdown. The cell type can be changed to Markdown using the cell menu option. If you go to the cell menu, if you select cell type, then you can see Markdown. So now you can see that particular cell is converted to Markdown. Now I am converting it back to a code. Now we will see how we will add a header. So heading can be added by prefixing any line by single or multiple hash. This or this can convert any cell to a heading. there is one more method, that is to select heading from the drop down menu. Click OK, and if I am executing this, it will be converted to a heading. There is one more type of cell in Jupyter Notebook, that is the row NB converter. Row cells are provided to write the output directly. The cell is not evaluated in Jupyter Notebook. After passing through row NB converter, the row cells arrive in the destination folder without any modification. For example, one can write full Python code into a row cell that can only be rendered by Python only after conversion by NBConvert. So a cell can be converted into row NBConvert by using this cell menu, cell type, and you can select row NBConvert. Next is the kernel. A kernel runs behind every notebook. Whenever a cell is executed, the code inside the cell is executed within the kernel, and the output is returned to the cell to be displayed. The kernel continues to access the document as a whole and not for individual cells. For example, if a library is imported in one cell, then that library will be available for the whole document and not for the particular cell. Now we have some options for kernels. Jupyter Notebooks provides various options for kernel. This can be useful if you want to reset things, and the different options are: first one is restart. So if I click on restart, it will restart the kernel. That will clear all the variables that were defined, clearing all the modules that were defined, imported, etc. So now we have restarted the kernel and we have cleared all the variables, libraries, etc. that we have created. Next one is restart and clear outputs. This will do the same that we have done before, but it will also clear the output that was displayed below the cell. So now you can see the output here is gone. The next option is restart and run. So if you click on the restart and run all button, it will do the same that we have done before, and also it will execute all the cells. So now you can see it got restarted and it printed the output of the code. Next is the interrupt option. This will interrupt the kernel execution. It can be useful in case where the program continues for execution for a long time or the kernel is stuck over some computation. So it is also available here. And we have two more options, reconnect and shutdown, which is useful when you lost the connection to the kernel and you want to shut down the kernel. And here you have another option to change the kernel to a Python 3 kernel. Next is the naming of the notebook. When the notebook is created, Jupyter Notebook names the notebook as untitled by default. However, the notebook name can be changed by clicking on here, and this will open a rename notebook pop-up box, and here you can type a valid name. So I'll type introduction to Jupyter, and if I click on the rename button, it will rename it as Jupyter. So now if you check the desktop, you can see our Python 3 file is created with the name introduction to Jupyter. So these are some of the basic features of Jupyter Notebook. That's all in this video. Thank you for watching.